And welcome back, everyone. This Lantern Corps is Grogu. That's because there's some Super Saiyan Raikage, or Super Saiyajin Raikage. Who asked the question, what is Grogu's Lantern Corps? I was surprised. No one else gave me that. But yeah, Grogu. Grogu's a unique character, and Grogu will clearly continue to evolve as the superhero, as the Mandalorian continues. But yeah, Grogu's an interesting character. Grogu's very young. I mean, he's 50 years old, but he's still a young child, and he's still got a lot of growing and maturing to do. So it's interesting to kind of put him in a Lantern Corps. Now, to get some out of the way, he's not a Gold Lantern. He has not been happy all his life, sadly. He's been scared actually a lot of his life. He also is not a Ultraviolet, so get that out of the way right now. I also don't think he's any of the top three. I don't think he's a Rage Lantern. He's been angry before, but it doesn't dominate him. He doesn't really inspire great fear, although there are some who are kind of scared of him. Not by a huge margin, but he's not really a Fear Lantern. And I don't think, believe it or not, he's a Green Lantern, despite his cutter and the Jedi. I don't think he has to overcome great fear, but he's still a child, and he ultimately just abandoned his Jedi training with Luke in order to go back to Mando, because he missed him, and he wanted to be with Mando. So I actually don't see. He probably has good willpower, but I just don't see him as a Green Lantern, surprisingly. Now, a couple that I do think he could qualify for. One is probably the most minor one, but still relevant. Life. I think he could be a Life Lantern. He is young. He likes life. He channels the light side of the Force, which is the life side of the Force, not the death side. So I think it's definitely in the cards for him to be a White Lantern. How strong of a White Lantern? That's the question. It's very possible that he could only temporarily be a White Lantern. He might not be the best applicant, but it's not out of the realm possibility. Avarice-wise, he's not that greedy, not beyond anything like what a child would have. So I don't count avarice in there. I also don't think compassion works. Now, someone did kind of argue the point with me about compassion, how it basically works, and that it's not about how much compassion you have, it's about complete devoid of it, and it basically takes over, and it's a parasitic ring that takes over and becomes your personality. So you feel nothing but compassion. And you're not wrong, but because it's the emotional spectrum, it can still take over someone who has compassion as their dominant trait. It's just most people aren't compassionate as their dominant trait is the problem. And while certainly Grogu has shown compassion, that's not his dominant trait, nor is he devoid of it. So we got to move on from that. One, though, I think can work is the Lantern Ring of Hope, the Blue Lanterns. This is due to the fact that a lot of faith has actually been put on Grogu, particularly by Ahsoka, by Mando himself, by Luke to some degree. He also puts a lot of his faith into Din, and I think that shows. I think Blue could definitely work in Grogu's favor. The other one that... Did I get through all of them now that I think about it? I think that's all of them. Yeah, the only other one that I actually think really could stand out, weirdly enough, is Love, because he clearly sees Din as a father, as a substitute father. And that comes from love. He loves it. There's a child love going on in that relationship. And it's so cute. I love Grogu. Who doesn't love Grogu? Who doesn't love Grogu? I mean, we always know him as Baby Yoda, but Grogu is growing on me as a name. Grogu has grown on me. So the question just becomes then, what is the most defining emotion Grogu has expressed? I think we can X life out of the equation. And it's only because he's young, he's got a lot more living to do. That species is very old, so that can maybe aid him in qualifying for a Life Lantern ring. But I don't see it as his primary. It's not like an Aang who was like literally the spiritual medium between two different realms. It's not like someone who's immortal who literally could just be the embodiment of life because of that. It's not like Swamp Thing who's the embodiment of the green, which is literally the embodiment of all plant life. So I don't see white. So at least this with hope or love. Let's try that again. Love and hope. This one gets a little tricky, but if I were to be a bet man 2 weeks in a row now, I'd probably lean towards love. I think that just is the more defiant thing. Grogu has been captured, has been scared, probably lost hope before. And, hope Hope is a very delicate lantern to have and to keep, because you not only need to have faith, you need to be able to keep faith, and that is difficult to do. But that said, it's not. I still think Hope would be a good secondary for Grogu. With Love, weirdly enough, being the dominant, I think his love for Din is what ultimately keeps him going, and keeps him with Din, and keeps him fighting the good fight, or just living a good life. So yeah, I would actually go Star Sapphire for Grogu, followed by Hope, with Life maybe as a third option. And I suppose if I were to go fourth, I might then lead towards Green. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below if you feel different. And if you do, that's cool. We're all friends here. Till then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later.